I'm on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. And this is an exclusive Patreon only membership videos where you will get some interesting takes on Vedic astrology, some interesting learning on Vedic astrology, and a lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Let's discuss a bit about three-planet conjunction, and this time let's understand what happens when Sun, Saturn and Mercury come together in your horoscope, and what actually do they represent. To know more, stay tuned till the end. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon so that you and me can stay connected, and also you can follow me on Instagram for reels and Telegram for links, and for consultation please drop me an email. Let's start the basic understanding of these three-planet conjunction. Sun, Saturn, Mercury. Very weird kind of energy signature. It's like you can call it like a Mercury caught between the crossfire of Sun and Saturn. Sun and Saturn are father and son. S-O-N, son. So now, in spite of being father and son, they are extremely opposite to each other. They get exalt and debilitated at opposite places. Like the place where Sun gets exalt, Saturn gets debilitated. The place where Saturn gets exalt, Sun gets debilitated. Why it happens? Because his Sun represents ego, authority, whereas Saturn represents dissolution of ego, focusing on the lower areas of life and focusing on very basic core structure. Although both are fundamental, you can say Sun is your Atman and Saturn is the bone structure, skeleton of the body. Saturn is not beautiful. Sun represents the power and the charisma, but Saturn represents the fundamental things. The car may look extremely beautiful, but from inside you have to see the oil, you will see the dust, you will see everything. But that is what makes the car functional. Sun represents the Atman, the soul of anything. And Sun is also mild malefic in general sense, because Sun is like you can't live with this, you can't live without it, and you can't go too close to it because then it will burn you. On the other hand, Saturn is the farthest planet in the solar system because he is the judge, so he has to see things in totality, whereas Sun is something that is the center of everything. Sun wants everybody to revolve around him. So whenever a person has a very strong Sun, that is the natural nature of that person. Bring Saturn to that place, now the nature becomes complicated. It is like, what should you do? Both Saturn and Sun will quarrel with each other. It is like whether you should follow the rule of kingship, monarchy, or you should follow democracy. Whether it should be public who is ruling or whether it should be one person who is ruling. What will you prefer? Sun is also a sense of pride. Sun is also father, whereas Saturn is servant. Saturn is the sense of being together, the holistic nature of life. Saturn is also something that represents poverty. Sun is like full of light, Saturn is full of darkness. Sun is hot, Saturn is cold. So Sun and Saturn, when they come together, you have to understand the energy signature in a very advanced manner, in a manner that on a very normal level can produce ego-based conflicts, poverty, problems, and this can be said as a certain kind of a negative yoga. A lot of people say that. But when you see this in a very different perspective, Sun and Saturn can actually work wonders. Imagine a king who is very strong in his fundamentals. Imagine a power and authority and someone who can rule with law. So it becomes perfect synergy. Now it depends upon how they are placed, how close they are, whether the Sun is making Saturn combust or not. All that will come into picture. That will bring variations into the output of this combination, bring Mercury into this. Buddha is a planet of communication. It is a planet of transaction. It rules your third house. So it also represents your courage, your capacity to solve problems in life, because it rules natural 6th house also. Bring this along with Sun and Saturn. Now there can be different ways they can be arranged degree wise. Mercury can be between Sun and Saturn, Mercury can be ahead of Sun and Saturn, Mercury can be behind Sun and Saturn. Totally depending upon where Mercury is placed and how it is placed, the flavor will change. But in general, if I see if Mercury combines with the energy of Sun and Saturn, you will start communicating whatever is in your heart, whatever Sun and Saturn is giving you. This can be a very harsh communication, to a communication that can stand for justice, to a voice of masses, or it can be somebody who is a policy maker, who is a great administrator. Frankly speaking, this is no joke conjunction. You won't find comedy behind this. But you will find great writing ability, great ability to express, but in the old age, in the second half of life. The first half of life will be where you are unable to express. Maybe you are suppressed. Maybe there is a bad relation with your father. Maybe because of a presence of a stepfather, you are unable to express yourself positively. There will be personality issues, especially if your ascendant lord somehow, or ascendant gets associated with this, or moon gets associated with this. Till the age of 33, you will see that there will be some or the other challenges that you have to face, and slowly as the age progresses, this conjunction will make you more and more matured. But yes, then you can say on the other hand, the charm of life goes away. See, there is a way to see this. Not everybody is made to born to follow the similar pattern. Why will otherwise there will be variations among the habit, nature, and consciousness of people? If you are born with Sun, Saturn and Mercury conjunction, wherever it is placed in your horoscope, your sole purpose is to work towards that house, communicate with the energies of that house, and sort the differences. There is only way this conjunction can work well if Sun and Saturn somehow comes to a midpoint. That means a little bit of loss of ego and a little bit of acceptance of power. Both has to come and join. Henceforth, it can make you a great journalist, a great writer, a great lawyer, public speaker, motivator, and a politician. You can become a great politician if in your Arudha Lagna this conjunction is placed. Problem, if you speak lie, Saturn will become bad. If you don't defend, Sun will become bad. This is also the case when a person suffers insults and humiliation, and then after a very long time outbursts. Now, how much negativity you have to digest before you actually use this conjunction in your favor depends how close they are, where they are placed, are you getting any Mahadasha of that planet, any of these three planets, what is the condition of moon, when are you born, Desh, Kal, Paristiti, all that have to be seen. So we cannot have a blanket approach, but yes, we can understand it in a way that this is a conjunction where Mercury has to literally deal and act as a middleman to bring peace between Sun and Saturn. Too much of struggle can make your body go in fight or flight mode, which can result in autoimmune diseases. A lot of people have a very dry skin, scaly skin. And you can also see the nails becoming black sometimes if this goes negative. But if this is positive, this is a conjunction of people who can make the world shake, who can create difference in society, who can be king, who is known for his truthfulness. Raja Harishchandra. I'm not saying he has it, but I'm just giving it a comparable example. Saturn stands for justice, Sun stands for rule, Mercury stands for communication, and it means you are communicating the right thing, you stand for somebody's justice. It can make you a great social worker. And that is also one area where such people will have a career in social working. You have to see the status of Sun here, because see, if Sun is weak, The problem will be that no matter what you do, the appreciation will not come and the outcome will not be in your favor. Because if Saturn is weak, somehow Sun can pull it off. Somehow your smart thinking, because then Mercury will take the shape of Sun, so Sun and Mercury's Buddhaditya Yoga will overcome the weakness of Saturn. If this conjunction is influenced by Jupiter, you can become a very different kind of guru. New thinking, new way of looking into life. But if Sun goes down, then your confidence goes down. Then you end up serving someone who is powerful. You will need somebody behind your backing. You will have to live on somebody's influence or power. And then your ego cannot come in between. So it's a tricky conjunction. And whenever this conjunction happens in sky, you need to take care of all these things in your own life. Because this can create a very conflicting situation, especially with your father or father-in-law, related to inheritance, land, will, money, transactions, liquidity. Especially in business, if it happens in 7th house of a person and he's a businessman, suddenly there will be a problem in getting the funding and managing the business. Saturn also represents your workforce, so there can be strikes, improper communication, wrong image coming and destroying things. So you need to work a lot on your image, how people perceive you, how you come across. You should come across as a humble, because the only way this conjunction will favor you is if you are humble. And if you, not only you are humble, but your projection of personality is also humble. So it's not that you can say a lie. You have to first learn, transform yourself, and then project the same thing. Mostly you have to also develop your writing skills, vocabulary skills. You must be able to communicate in their language. That means you need to be a master of communication in multiple languages. You can also have a career in that. You can be a great translator, dubbing artist, whose voice will be behind the scene but will become popular. This conjunction can give tensions with father, which also means that there can be a pitradosh, a genetic curse that is running in different members of the family. Observe if other members of family also have a Saturn or Sun connection somehow. If everybody has it, or at least most of the members have it, then you need to get it checked and find a solution. Take care of your eyesight. Don't exhaust your brain, because now what happens is that Mercury on one hand gets pulled by the power of Sun. On the other hand, the Saturn slows it down. So what happens? The one hand Buddhaditya Yoga wants to execute the intelligence. Consciousness wants to expand. Saturn says, go slow. So if this goes in a very negative way, from the early days, there can be slow mental growth. It may show certain brain issues. Or later on, it can create problems in memory. A child can show excellent skills in the early age, and as the age grows, the child will slow down in the calculation process. You will prefer to wait, sit, write everything down, calculate every single thing, which eventually slows your calculation, slows down you and delays and reduces your productivity. Is it a wrong approach? I don't think so. That's the right approach for you. That's how you should work. Slow and steadily. Taking everything into account, writing everything in a piece of paper, documenting every single thing. You can be an excellent person who can document things, who can work for file management. You're also a person who can work on algorithms, computer algorithms. And when it becomes very negative, say in the Navamsha, Saturn and Rahu conjunction is there. Or if this conjunction happens in 8th house or 6th house, then what happens is, under extreme negative effect, this conjunction can really create extreme health issues, bone issues, disability. Especially the person will have sensory organ disability. There can be hand and eye coordination problems. And in old age, it can lead to Alzheimer, even coma. I'm not going to scare you, not that you have it and you will get it. Just that you have to ensure that if it is very negative, first of all, if it is very negative, you won't even get to know, because you will be already suffering from a lot of problems. And if you are knowing this through astrology, then it means that it is not that negative. So don't worry. But if you know someone who has it and is really suffering from this conjunction, then really that person will need help. And your task should be to help, because the moment somebody helps that person, it is itself an indicator that Saturn is trying to pull him out of the problem. Whether he will or not is God's decision. We should try. This also creates a lot of humanitarian angle to the conjunction, but also can make you very rude. Your communication can be dead rude, cold, which can create heavy problems. I'm literally using the word heavy problems in marriage. Because why did I say heavy? Because it will put a lot of weight of responsibilities in marriage. You will be loaded with that, and then the charm of enjoying things goes away. You will become so disciplined, so mechanical, so monotonous that life will become black and white, devoid of colors. And you will say that you should also be devoid of color. So you will be a very mechanical person working 80 hours a week, not on because you are forced or you need, but maybe because you want. You become workaholic and work becomes everything for you. Totally depends how they are interrelating with each other. And also the nakshatra plays a vital role. If the nakshatra of these three planets, if any of these planets becomes negative, say Saturn, Venus, Saturn, Mercury and Sun goes in Ardra nakshatra, then it can create a lot of problems. Nakshatra will play extremely vital role. If this has aspect of Jupiter, then this will flourish into the most beautiful conjunction, where your knowledge will take you to places. You can become a research scientist, philosopher, doctor, and you can become a scholar basically. This is a scholarly conjunction, but then a lot of caveats are attached with this. And if you have to improve this, all you have to do is pray to Bhagwan Ganesh. Vakratunda Mahakaya, Surikoti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurume Deva, Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Just pray to Bhagwan Ganesh and bow down your head. First, Ganesh is said to be the first god, sun. Bhagwan Ganesh also does not have any ego, Saturn. And Bhagwan Ganesh also rides a very fast moving rat, kills the fear and makes your brain sharp, Mercury. This combination can easily come in your favor if the divine blessing of Ganesha is upon us. So pray to him and bow down in gratitude and say Om Gam Ganpataye Namah. We'll meet you in the next video. I hope you like. Please share your views in the comment section. If you have this conjunction, how have you faced this, so that it becomes a forum of discussion and a lot of people can learn not only the remedies, but also it will be a shared thought. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, Namaste.